Obama said today that he hasn't ruled out an executive action to make new regulations against guns. Now, the one thing about that is that two things can happen. Congress can get rid of the executive order, and two, the next president in about 4 years, is just issues another executive order that does away with this executive order. So if the president does it willy-nilly, all by his lonesome, one, you can expect there to be a congressional challenge in the House to get rid of it. Two, people are going to sue. And three, a new president, as long as he isn't a liberalistic, idiotic left-wing nut job like Biden, is going to get rid of it. Plain and simple. He says, I'm confident that there are some steps we could take that don't require legislation that are within my power. Now, the whole point, the problem is with all this gun regulation and stuff, is that not a single law that is either currently on the books or being proposed would have stopped the Sandy Hook massacre. Not a single one. Not even if he confiscated the Bushmaster. It wouldn't have stopped it. I'm sorry to tell folks this, but gun laws, these restrictive gun laws that keep law-abiding legal citizens from having a gun, is not going to make us safer. Criminals are intent on doing criminalistic types of things, and they will find the weapons that they need in order to accomplish those criminalistic goals, no matter what. I mean, I just don't understand how people don't understand this. It's not the gun. It's the person. It's the people. And so Obama says, that he's confident that he can find some ways, take some steps in there that don't require legislation. Well, actually, just about everything's supposed to require legislation. That's why we call this a constitutional republic, not a dictatorship. Just saying. I'm seeing. Speaking of dictatorships, and it's really because of people are just idiots. I'm plain and simple. You liberals are idiots. There are people out there now, and you can see some of the stuff on the internet, and it's true. I know some of it is being played up, but some of it is actually true. There are people who are upset that that have voted for Obama and other liberals. They're upset that their taxes are going up. But they're the ones that voted for it. You've got Sandra Fluke out there. What was it? Let's put it in perspective. Sandra Fluke. Yeah, she's the woman that wants free contraception. She wants government to pay, which means you and me, taxpayer, to pay for her contraception. Now, I don't know, what is $10? Well, it's less than $10, but let's round it out. $10 at Target per month, right? Or Walmart. So it's $120 a year. But at her salary, her taxes just went up $1,000, $1,000. But she's going to get $120 worth of free stuff. But that $120 worth of free stuff is going to cost her $1,000. So she's still in the hole for $850. See, free's too expensive. I can't afford free. I can't. Phones. You ever look at the small print and if it? I don't really pay attention to the phones, but I had another phone service point out something to me about free phones. And I looked at him after he explained it all. And I said, yep, that there goes that whole notion again. I can't afford free. And the young man, he bust out laughing in the store. But it's true. Even when you think you're getting something free, yeah, it's a free phone. And you read the fine print and you realize, and if you're comparing it with other services and other plans, you're not getting your phone for free. You're not. You're not getting that phone at a discount. Oh, this is a $600 phone and I got it for, $150. No, you're not. You're paying more than the $600 for that damn phone. Yeah, I figured it out. But I got to tell you, I can't believe I'm saying this, by the way. I really like my new Samsung Galaxy S2. I didn't get the S3. I got the S2. I'm blown away by it. I'm fascinated by this thing. I could say that for the first time, I'm getting addicted to my phone. I've had a cell phone for the past 12 years, since 2000 99, 2000, around there. Actually, no, I had a cell phone back in 97. It was I think it was U.S. Cellular. But in any case, yeah, I've never been addicted if I could, take it or leave it. And now I'm getting addicted to this Galaxy thing. And then I happened to make a mistake and go and see the Galaxy Note. It's something called a phablet, P-H-A-blet. It's not a tablet and it's not a phone. It's a combination. It's got, and this was a 5.1 inch screen, and the screen is kind of large for a phone. And now there's speculation, there's rumor that came out, and I think I mentioned this before. There's rumors that came out of the Consumer Electronics Convention that Apple might actually, instead of making a bigger iPhone, might actually turn the iPad Mini into a phone by adding the cellular phone feature. Because frankly, you can already kind of do that with the iPad and the iPad Mini, because you can get the online services, especially like Skype, and as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, you can use your tablet like a phone. But their speculation is that they're actually going to put the phone component into an iPad Mini, thus competing with some of the other phablets out there. But I'm looking at the Galaxy Note 2 and thinking this is a fantastic little device. It's amazing. Again, no government regulation forcing people to make this or buy this. But there it is. Nobody forcing Apple to make a tablet called an iPad, but there it is, and people have bought the thing like crazy. I mean, there is some Apple diehards that every time a new version of whatever comes out, they're on top of it. They're buying it. Apple likes those kind of people. I don't know how you can afford it, considering they're kind of expensive. Well, yeah, the iPhone, a couple of $100 every time it comes out. The tablet was $500-$600 every time it comes out. The iPod, there's a few $100 every time one of those comes out. I mean, so it adds up. And then the computers, well, forget it. Those are at least twice the price of a PC. Machine, depending whether it be a laptop, notebook, or desktop. They're at least twice, but often more than that. And people continue to buy this stuff, and it's not government mandated. Oh, go figure. But government's going to mandate that we not have guns. But government can't mandate not spending us into oblivion. Obama refuses to negotiate with Republicans on debt ceiling raise. Oh, because, he says today that it's not about spending, raising the debt. No, it is about spending. In other words, we spent too much in the past. Now we need to cut back now. He's not interested in cutting spending. That's not his whole plan. He wants to increase spending, thus means that we've got to borrow more. We're not paying back the debt. Do people understand this? We're not paying back the debt. You can't go from 16 trillion to 16.5 trillion and claim that you're paying back the debt. You're not paying Jack. But, you know, low information voter idiots are buying this, they're lapping it up. Yeah, those evil Republicans, man, they just want to cut everything. Well, yeah, because we can't afford it. As a nation, we cannot afford it. And so Obama's playing the potentate again. Well, he's folding his arms and pouting and stomping his feet. Well, I'm not going to negotiate with no Republican on a debt ceiling. They're going to raise the debt. They're going to raise that limit. Instead of 16 trillion, they're going to allow me to spend 20 trillion. They're going to raise that debt. I'm telling you, I ain't cutting anything. I ain't cutting a dime. President Barack Obama on Monday rejected any negotiation with Republicans over the most pressing U.S. fiscal issue, refusing to trade cuts in government spending in exchange for raising the borrowing limit. Guess what, Republicans? It's time to let Obama go over the cliff. It's time. It's time. There's, Boehner, you're gonna have to, for once, be a stand-up guy. You're gonna have to be a stand-up guy. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're gonna have to say to this president, no, Mr. President, you cannot spend anymore. We have spent too much as it is. But then we have to realize, however, that these big government type Republicans, they're pretty much like Democrats. They don't mind spending your money. They don't mind big government because it helps keep them in power. So they'll keep spending it. They won't actually try to cut the spending. They'll give you some stupid notion, oh yeah, this will cut $10 billion over 10 years. Well, we know that's a lie. But, well, low information lapdogs will lap it up. Yeah, we're cutting the budget. We're cutting our debt by $10 billion over 10 years. First of all, you're only cutting it $1 billion. But a lot of times those cuts don't come until like year 5 or 6 or 7. And so you're not cutting anything. And 2, we're supposed to have a budget every year. So anything that you say that you're dragging out for 10 years is a lie. Because the Congress at any time in any one of those years up to 10 years out can change the budget. It means nothing. Nothing to go out 10 years. I mean, seriously. People still believe this stuff too. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a Bill Clinton. He left us with a surplus. Well, we were gonna have a surplus. No, we're not gonna have a surplus under Bill Clinton. You can't have a surplus in 1997 if you say the surplus is going to be realized in 2007. Hey, guess what? We came to 2007 and we were in debt. Now we're going to be in 2017 and we're going to be in worse debt. So much for a year-to-year type of budget plan and giving us a surplus. Maybe our government should just, I know that they don't know how to do this, but they should learn how to actually just go ahead and learn. They should take some economic classes and do what every other American does and try to live within their means. And those that spend too much on a national credit card, we should make them pay it back.
I always loved watching the kids play basketball. I still do, even though things have changed. It's funny, they can't find jobs to get their career started. And I can't afford to retire.